Hello, my friends. Today I'm going to help you and your team design more instructionally sound storyboards in a fraction of the time by creating a storyboard template. Alright, so welcome back to the channel. My name is Devlin Peck, and today I'm going to help you create a storyboard template, because not only can they save you a lot of time when you're working on storyboards yourself, but they can also help your team design storyboards that are much more consistent because you're all following the same kind of formula or process. So let's dive into it here. So very quickly, first, if you're new to storyboarding, a storyboard is where you write all of the text and content and programming notes and visual notes for your project. So it essentially serves as a guide for all of the ensuing development. It's basically the blueprint for your final project. And we have a full video on how to create a storyboard if you are new to storyboarding. So this isn't Storyboarding 101, this is Storyboard Template 101, which can help save a lot of time storyboarding. So check out that video if you haven't seen it already, or if you're new to storyboarding. But essentially, how you can create a good storyboard template is if you draw inspiration from instructional design models that are maybe industry standards or that you or your team have developed over time. So this is the idea. You create that storyboard template based on the ID models that you or your team follow. So the template essentially systematizes the model so that you can apply it without having to think too hard about it. So like the example we're going to get into in this video is like Gagne's 9 events. Now we have a video about that. You may be familiar with it, but instead of having to think about those 9 events every single time you approach a new project and ask yourself, oh, am I applying all of these things? You just bake that into the template. So then when you're storyboarding, it kind of serves as performance support for you as the instructional designer. You may have also seen me use these kind of templates with like an action mapping approach or a scenario-based approach. It's the same kind of idea. You don't want to start with like a blank slate. You can actually build the template based on the model that you're following. So it ensures you don't miss anything, you don't leave anything out. And like I said, if you have multiple people working on the same type of learning experiences, you can stay much more consistent if you're all using the same template. So one person or the team needs to work together to make that template up front, and it can save hundreds or thousands of hours down the line, as well as that consistency. So like I mentioned, we will create a storyboard template following Gagne's 9 events. I'll briefly walk you through it, and I'm also including that template for you to download if you want. So that link is in the description. So you can go ahead and download the template if you'd like. Yeah, so I'll quickly show you what that template looks like. It's not anything super fancy here, but it should give you the idea. So here's the storyboard template. And notice I have these kind of boxes for each of Gagne's 9 events. So like first, get attention. And instead of just saying get attention and leaving a blank box, I also include this kind of these suggestions or this guidance for the instructional designer working on this project, whether that's me or one of my teammates. So I include some suggestions here. Get your audience's attention by asking a thought-provoking question, including a surprising fact or statistic, so on and so forth. And I'm pulling this just because I so happen to have an article about Gagne's 9 events. I've already done this research and put it here. But you notice I'm just kind of condensing this article into a very, very brief form of performance support for someone who might have already familiarized themselves with Gagne's 9 events. But yeah, it's like you don't want to wind up forgetting, you don't want to guess at how to actually apply these things. So this is the idea. So whether you're working with SAM, which is another favorite model that we use, or it doesn't use storyboarding, but it can help with planning, or action mapping, any of these kind of approaches, you could build a template like this just to help you along. And notice we just go through the event. So present objectives. So let the audience know what to expect. Use a conversational tone. Notice little pieces of guidance like that will really help with the consistency piece, in addition to helping you not have to do extra research if you haven't used a template like this in a while. Stimulate recall. So I'm kind of going down the list with Gagne's 9 events. How do we invite the learner to reflect on their prior knowledge? How are we going to present the content for each objective? Provide guidance. Yeah, again, this isn't a Gagne's 9 events video, but I'm just kind of going through those 9 events and building text boxes. We're not going to fill it out here, but this is where you would put like animated video scripts if you're going to do animated videos, for example. You can include the whole script in this section, and so on and so forth. You could also build this out with like multiple columns, of course. If you do watch the full storyboarding video, you can see that you can get much more complex with your storyboarding, but if you know me, I also like the really simple kind of free text storyboards. Feels a lot less restrictive. But having a template like this gives you those guidelines so that you can still you can be creative while ensuring that you're not missing anything. So feel free to download this. You can read all of the guidance I have here. But the main idea I want to get across is that, yeah, I'm using these resources. I'm following these models to create the template. So then once the template is created, I know that everything is instructionally sound. I know I'm not missing anything. And I know that if other instructional designers are working on the same types of projects, that we're going to be consistent across the board. Again, maybe we might, some things will be open to interpretation. We'll have to refine the template probably if we're working with a large team, but I'm sure you can imagine how this would help ease things along much more than just kind of like, okay, everyone start their own storyboard and like give it your best shot. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me know if you and your team use a template like this and if it helps or not. Again, download the template if you want to give this one a go and try using it. And yeah, if you or your team are already using a different process, see if you can create a template like this just to save time down the line. And then once again, I have that full storyboarding video for you if you would like to learn more about storyboarding. So thanks for making it to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.